Story begins on April 20, 1964, when the young Warrens, with Lorraine in the last months of her pregnancy, are investigating a mysterious death in an antique shop while waiting for the birth of their daughter, Judy. The shop's owner believes that an evil spirit haunts the place, the same one that drove her father to commit suicide and is now trying to kill her as well. During the investigation, Lorraine senses a dark presence inside an old mirror stored in the back room. The mirror has 3 strange faces engraved on it. Thinking it's just a trapped soul, Lorraine tries to help, but as soon as she touches the mirror, the spirit gives her a terrifying vision of her unborn daughter smiling wickedly. Lorraine suddenly feels severe labor pains and realizes that her baby's life is in danger. Panicking, Ed rushes Lorraine to the hospital despite the storm outside. The doctors begin an emergency delivery, but things quickly worsen. The lights in the hospital flicker and go out, and Lorraine sees the same demonic presence there, as if it has followed her to harm the baby. Moments later, their daughter is born, almost lifeless. Lorraine breaks down, convinced that the demon has taken her child. Holding the baby in her arms, she and Ed pray desperately for her life to return. Miraculously, the baby breathes again. As Judy grows up, her parents realize that she has inherited their ability to see spirits. This gift, while special, is also terrifying. To protect her, Lorraine teaches her a simple childhood rhyme, one that helps Judy calm herself and feel safe, even in the darkness. The story then shifts to 1986 in Pennsylvania, where the Smurl family lives. Parents Janet and Jack, their 4 daughters, Heather, Dawn, Shannon, and Perrin, and their grandparents. The family is filled with joy as they celebrate Heather's confirmation ceremony at church. Later, at a small party at home, her grandparents gift her an old mirror, unaware that it's the same cursed mirror from the Warrens' case 22 years ago. As soon as the mirror is opened, strange events begin. When Heather cuts her cake, the candles suddenly blow out and a heavy ceiling light crashes down onto the table, slightly injuring her head. The cheerful celebration turns into fear. Meanwhile, after so many years, the Warrens have stepped away from paranormal investigations due to Ed's weak heart. They now give lectures about their experiences at universities. But fate doesn't want to keep them away for long. One evening, while having dinner with their now 22-year-old daughter Judy, Lorraine and Judy suddenly sense a dark presence close to her. Frightened, Judy starts reciting the rhyme her mother taught her, and Lorraine joins in, helping her shift focus away from the shadow. Back at the Smurl home, the hauntings intensify. One day, while doing laundry in the basement, Janet sees a dark figure in the corner and hears strange demonic whispers. Moments later, an invisible force grabs her phone and drags it into the darkness as if something unseen is always watching her. The twin daughters, Karen and Shannon, watch in terror as their dolls suddenly float in midair. Karen even sees the shadow of an old woman behind one of them. Heather and Dawn begin to suspect that all of this started after the mirror entered their home. Out of fear, they secretly throw the mirror into the trash at midnight. The next day, the garbage truck crushes it completely, but that only makes things worse. During lunch, Dawn begins vomiting blood, and with it, shards of broken glass from the mirror come out of her mouth. Horrified, the family rushes her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Judy brings her boyfriend Tony to her father's birthday party, introducing him to Ed, Lorraine, and their family friend, Father Gordon. Later, when Judy steps into a room alone, she sees the Annabelle doll rocking on a chair. Scared, she repeats her mother's rhyme and manages to calm herself. Lorraine realizes that Judy's connection to the paranormal world is getting stronger, and it worries her deeply. A little later, Tony privately asks Ed and Lorraine for permission to marry Judy, showing them the ring. Lorraine is thrilled, but Ed advises them to wait a bit longer. Just then, Judy walks in, sees the ring, and silently accepts the proposal. Ed eventually agrees, happy to see his daughter's joy. After the party, Father Gordon talks to the Warrens about the terrifying events happening to the Smurl family and asks for their help. But due to Ed's health condition, they can't assist immediately. Meanwhile, the Smurls are struggling. The church's help is delayed, and the hauntings grow worse by the day. One night, Jack's father is lifted into the air by a ghostly woman, paralyzed and unable to move or speak. Around the same time, Heather replays her confirmation party video to find out why the candles had blown out. To her horror, she sees a demonic figure in the footage, extinguishing the candles. Before she can tell anyone, the same spirit attacks her with an axe. Hearing her screams, the family rushes in just in time, and the entity disappears. Now the Smurls realize that what's happening is far from normal. But with 8 family members, they can't afford to live in a hotel. Out of desperation, they go to the press to share their story, hoping for help, but it only makes things worse. The spirits become more violent and push their grandmother down the stairs. Luckily, Father Gordon happens to be nearby and rushes her to the hospital.
Father Gordon, without waiting for the church's official permission, decides to help the Smurl family himself. He visits their house and begins sprinkling holy water throughout the rooms. But when he sprinkles it in the basement, it instantly evaporates into steam, making him realize that a powerful demonic presence resides there, something far too dangerous for him to face alone. He promises Janet that he'll return with help from the church and leaves. However, when Father Gordon meets another priest, the demonic force follows him there. It overpowers him and uses his own hands to hang him to death. Meanwhile, Judy goes wedding dress shopping with her mother Lorraine. Inside the trial room, she suddenly sees the ghost of the old woman from the Smurl house. The spirit begins to terrify her, and from within the mirror, the demon tries to attack and kill her. Lorraine rushes in and is horrified to see her daughter so terrified. Elsewhere, Ed shows Tony his artifact room, explaining his work. He tells him that destroying cursed objects can be even more dangerous, which is why they must be safely contained instead. Just then, they receive the tragic news of Father Gordon's death from Lorraine and Judy. At Father Gordon's funeral, the entire family is heartbroken. He was like a family member to them. But something strange happens to Judy. When she touches his coffin, she gets a horrifying vision, revealing the true cause of his death. Father Gordon's friend Father Zegler mentions that he had died while visiting Pennsylvania. This deepens Judy's suspicions, and without telling her parents, she heads straight to the Smurl house. Moments later, Lorraine experiences a terrifying vision, a locket with Judy's photo sinking in a sink full of blood. She instantly realizes that her daughter is in grave danger. Panicking, Lorraine and Ed rush to Pennsylvania with Tony. Because of Ed's weak heart, they initially planned to just bring Judy back, avoiding involvement with the Smurl case. But when Judy with tearful eyes says, "You've always helped others, why are you leaving the Smurl family alone when they need you the most?" Her words melt their hearts. The Warrens finally decide to help. Lorraine uses her psychic powers to investigate the house and soon discovers the presence of 3 spirits, a husband, wife, and the wife's mother, who had all died years ago in a family conflict. But these spirits aren't the real threat. The true danger is a fourth demonic entity which is using them to terrify the Smurl family for its own dark purpose. Meanwhile, Judy hears what she believes is her mother calling her name. Following the voice, she reaches the attic, but it's a trap. There, she finds the same cursed mirror, mysteriously restored and now in the attic. The demon had used the Annabelle doll to lure her there. Terrified, Judy runs downstairs only to encounter the Annabelle doll, now enlarged and alive, chasing her. Falling and stumbling, Judy somehow manages to reach her parents. When Ed and Lorraine go to the attic and see the mirror, the one connected to Judy's birth, they instantly realize that this is the fourth demonic force that haunted the Smurl family just to bring Judy there. Suddenly, Judy's condition worsens. Ed decides they must seal the mirror and take it to the artifact room. He instructs Jack and Dawn not to look at or touch it until the ritual is complete. They carefully wrap the mirror using sacred chants and begin carrying it downstairs with Jack while Tony prepares the car outside. But things go horribly wrong. The mirror breaks free, falls onto Jack's legs and injures him. Outside, the old woman's ghost terrifies Tony, causing a car crash and trapping him outside the house. The demon now fully possesses Judy. She attacks her mother, locking her in the basement, then lifts the Smurl's dog into the air and throws it before attacking the entire family. When her father tries to reason with her, she attacks him too, worsening his heart condition. Struggling, Ed takes his medicine and steadies himself. The demon then drags Judy towards the attic, intent on killing her. In the basement, Lorraine is attacked by a ghost wielding an axe, but Tony arrives just in time to save her. Together they rush upstairs with Ed to save Judy. By the time they reach, Judy, under full demonic control, had hanged herself and was on the verge of death. Ed and Tony desperately cut the rope, but the floor collapses and all three fall through. Judy lies lifeless once again. Devastated, Ed, Lorraine, and Tony do everything they can to save her. As Ed gives her CPR, his own heart condition worsens. All hope seems lost, but Tony refuses to give up. He continues CPR relentlessly until finally Judy starts breathing again. But the danger isn't over. The mirror rises into the air, spinning violently. Ed reads verses from the Bible to stop it, but the demon grows stronger, setting the Bible on fire and pinning Tony to the floor. Ed fights with all his strength to free him. Meanwhile, Judy begins reciting her mother's childhood rhyme, trying to control her fear. Lorraine tells her to face it bravely, not hide from it. Together, Ed, Lorraine, and Judy place their hands on the mirror and channel all their strength to fight the demon. With one final burst of energy, they shatter the cursed mirror, destroying the evil force once and for all. The Warrens and the Smurl family are finally freed. Later, Ed and Tony lock the broken mirror safely in the artifact room. They officially welcome Tony into their family and hand him the key to the room, entrusting him with the duty of protecting it when they are gone. Sometime later, Judy and Tony get married. Their wedding is attended by many people the Warrens had helped over the years. During the reception, Lorraine and Ed share a quiet dance. Lorraine has a beautiful vision of their future, of becoming grandparents, writing their book about their experiences, and continuing to help people peacefully on the phone. In the epilogue, it is revealed that Ed suffered a partial stroke at age 74, leaving him partially paralyzed. Lorraine stayed by his side, caring for him until his death 5 years later. She never married and lived until the age of 92, passing away in 2019. Thus, the story ends on a bittersweet but hopeful note. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.